Today, I'm going to teach you about overweight and obesity in Philadelphia. Philadelphia is home to more than 1.5 million residents. Philadelphia is the nation's fifth largest city. It is said that Philadelphia is the birthplace of the United States because here is where the Declaration of Independence was signed. Obesity is a disorder involving excessive body fat that increases the risk of health issues. Approximately 67.9% of adults in the city and approximately 41% of youth aged 6 to 17 are overweight or obese in Philadelphia. Additionally, nearly 70% of youth in North Philadelphia, the majority of whom are Black or Hispanic, are overweight or obese, which is nearly double the obesity and overweight rate for youth in the United States. Fruit and vegetable consumption is a challenge for residents in Philadelphia, with nearly 25% of youth and 30% of adults getting only one serving or less per day. Further, approximately 25% of youth do not get sustained physical activity even once a week. Take a moment and try and think why obesity could be such a problem. Consequences of obesity can be high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, asthma, body pain, cancer, heart issues, and etc. Why do you think youth obesity is so much more in Philadelphia? How can the community of Philadelphia reduce obesity?
Philadelphia is the poorest of the 10 largest cities in the United States. About 2/3 of adults and 40% of kids are overweight or obese.
Lack of access to healthy food, lack of exercise mean a degraded quality of life for our young people. It's dismaying to me. And the fact of the matter is I believe at least, we can actually do something about this. Many of the things that government can do are through infrastructure and other investments. We recently revamped our zoning code. I signed an executive order for a complete streets program that takes into consideration the walkability, bikeability of streets as development takes place. We have over 400 miles of bike lanes and more still to come over in parks and recreation. We have after-school programs where there's more physical activity. Making life better, healthier, safer for our citizens is one of the most important functions of government.
We have seen decreases in childhood obesity, some of the largest declines in African American boys and Hispanic girls.
The reasons that we've had some of these successes is not only because of the investments that we've made, but quite honestly, from the great work and the research of entities like the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. We rely on their expertise and best practices, work that they see all across the country, and we've implemented much of that work right here in Philadelphia. We don't have all the answers, and we still have a long way to go, but we're more than happy to share what we've learned in our experience, and at the same time, learn from other mayors and cities across America. Right. We're moving in the right direction.
After watching that video, you get to see a little how Philadelphia is trying to make a change to reduce obesity. Clubs like the Boys and Girls Clubs, which gives children the freedom to interact with other kids, is a great start. Solutions to preventing obesity start with what we eat. Eating more fruits and vegetables and less junk will prevent obesity. Making sure kids are aware of obesity and are staying active and eating right is our number one goal.
For many of our young people, if they don't have access to healthy food and can make those healthy choices, we see an increase in obesity, diabetes, stroke, heart disease. We're trying to attack this from a variety of perspectives, but in a more holistic fashion.
Get Healthy Philly aims to make the healthy choice the easier choice in places we live, learn, work, shop, and play.
3个月前做了这个检验。
We're working with the private sector, nonprofits, government, to increase access to healthy foods, to decrease the prevalence of marketing of junk foods.
Healthy Store Initiative has really brought healthy foods right into the neighborhood. Our goal is that 75% or more of Philadelphians would live no more than a 10-minute walk away from fresh fruits and vegetables. We have over 600 stores involved right now. Through the grants that we give, it makes it easier for the business person to provide new refrigeration and storage units. Business owners, whether it's a corner store or a bodega, become critical to this process.
We have a new refrigerator as a part of the program to keep fruit fresh. Grapes, bananas, apples, orange. Make money and keep health. It's good for me. Se calienta, huele a bolsa.
We're fortunate to work with the food trusts on some of these really innovative interventions. We have nearly 30 farmers markets, many of which are located in low-income communities and accept food stamps, where we've introduced the Philly Food Box program, where food stamp recipients spend $5 and get $2 on more fruits and vegetables. We're also working with 200 Chinese takeout restaurants to increase access to healthier options.
菜里面你们开始就是放了一些建议。
Not only are we engaging the business owners to make changes in the store, it's important that we engage consumers and residents so that there's demand for healthier food.
If we are consistent, if we maintain our focus, if we continue funding and programmatic support, we will continue to see the kinds of declines that we see here. I'm proud of the gains that we've made, but we still have a ways to go.
With nutrition and exercise, we can have wellness.
It's definitely on the rise.
Pediatrician Dr. Denise Drago says childhood obesity is a growing problem that shouldn't be ignored.
When parents are obese, there's a lot more of a likelihood that the kids will be obese too. So the culture is raising more obese adults, which are raising more obese children.
But the problem typically doesn't start with the child. To determine if a child is overweight, doctors use a BMI chart to measure the child's height and weight.
For adults, they use number values. For us, we use percentile. So if you're above the 85th percentile of your height compared to your weight for your age, then you're considered at risk for obesity. And above the 95th percentile is when you become classified as obese.
Obesity can start as young as birth. Health experts say once your child is able to eat solid foods, make sure they have a diet that's high in fruits, vegetables, and proteins. Also, prolong the introductions of juice and sweets.
We also talk about just portion sizes and how much should a child be eating. So when you look at what an adult should be eating, the amount that you or I would have for dinner isn't the same amount that they should.
If a child doesn't eat much during a meal, don't overcompensate later by giving high-calorie snacks.
Kids are on iPads, they're on iPhones, they're doing a lot more things that keep them stationary. So that's the first concern.
She says limiting the amount of time spent with technology and encouraging physical activity and healthy eating is important for both child and parent. For Lee Memorial Health System, I'm Lindsay Fry.